It is midday in Benghazi. It's 11 a.m. in Liverpool. I'm Monita Rajpal. World One. This is World One, live from London. But first, media reports are saying the U.S. ambassador to Libya and 3 other diplomatic staff were killed in an attack on American officials on Tuesday. The AFP news agency is quoting the Libyan Interior Ministry as saying Washington's ambassador, John Christopher Stevens, the man you see there on your screen, and 3 others were killed in a mob attack in the city of Benghazi. Joins us now live in the studio. And Atika, this is a very fluid situation right now, and there have been so many conflicting reports as to what may or may not happen to Ambassador Stevens.
Yeah, there's a lot of conflicting reports because it was a chaotic situation on the ground. Basically, it was a mob attack on the consulate in Benghazi. Rocket-propelled grenades were also used, but the consulate itself was set on fire.
All right, Atika, thank you very much for that. We'll be checking in with you a little bit later on as well. Atika, appreciate that. Now, the U.S. says it is working to protect its citizens around the world. Journalist Ian Lee is following the story from Cairo. He joins us now live with more on what's been happening there. Ian?
Well, Monita, right now I was earlier at the U.S. Embassy. Things have calmed down. Riot police are in front of the U.S. Embassy. The numbers are just a couple of dozen.
There from Cairo. We want to take you now to Washington and to Elise Labott, and that's our U.S. State Department Affairs correspondent. Elise, thank you very much for being with us. Again, just this word now that according to this Greek contractor who has identified the body of the U.S. ambassador to Libya, John Christopher Stevens, what more are you hearing from your end?
Right now, we're not hearing anything, Monita. They're sticking to the State Department, all in the...
Reporting to us there from the State Department. Of course, we'll try and get more information from Elise as soon as she's able to get more word from the State Department on Ambassador Stevens. We want to take you now to Tripoli and to CNN's Jumana Karaje. Jumana, what more are you hearing from where you are? There was a lot of instability in Libya not too long ago, and now it seemed as though the country was back on its feet, but now I guess it's anyone's guess.
Absolutely, Monita. This has been the situation here, and this attack does underscore the fragility.
Thank you very much for that. CNN's Jumana Karaje reporting to us there from Tripoli. And we'll be right back after this. Stay with us. Well, April 15th, 1989 is a date many people in the English city of Liverpool will never forget. 96 people were crushed to death and almost 800 injured as supporters of Liverpool Football Club surged into the Hillsborough Stadium in Sheffield. For many years, families of the victims have accused police of mishandling crowds pouring into the ground. But at the time, senior officers said drunk and misbehaving fans were to blame for this disaster. Well, today, we may get closer to the truth. An independent panel is set to release its findings, all 400,000 pages of that. CNN's Alex Thomas has more.
This was English football's darkest day.
Well, Amanda Davis from CNN World Sport has been following the story. She joins us now here in the studio. And Amanda, what can we expect from this report?
Well, this is an incredibly emotive subject in England, a tragedy that, as Alex said in his report...
So, part of the reasons why it is, as you say, it's such an emotive discussion is that because football is at the heart of British culture, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so when people go to a football match, they expect to come home safe and sound. They expect to be safe there. Understandably, there have been obviously lots of stories about hooliganism and violence at football matches, but you expect to go and come back safe. How has the incident and the event at Hillsborough changed the way people go to matches?
In essence, the initial inquiry was called the Taylor Report, and the Taylor Report...
Thank you so much for joining us here on World One. Graham Beecroft there on the phone. You're watching World One live from London. The Rescuers, a German court, has ruled that Europe's proposed bailout fund, designed to help faltering economies stay afloat, is legal. The decision paves the way for the European Stability Mechanism to go ahead with its plans for an October launch. But there are caveats. The ruling places a limit on Germany's liability. Dinah Magnay joins us now from CNN Berlin. And Dinah, I guess many people will say you can't really blame them for having to pay for what they're seeing as another country's inability to get their financial affairs in order. But I guess others will say you have to look at the big picture.
Yes, that's right. Definitely the German taxpayer is fed up with...
Diana, thank you so much. Well, let's see what newspapers around the world are saying about this. We begin with the Wall Street Journal, the Europe edition, and it has a comment piece with the headline, French for Austerity. It talks about the French president's plans to take more tax from the wealthy citizens, saying whether taxing the rich to feed a bloated government is any better for France than force feeding a goose is good for the goose is a question French voters will, in time, have a second chance to consider. Here in Britain, the Daily Telegraph's headline, and its focus is on the Dutch elections. With this headline, Dutch voters turn against Eurozone. It goes on to say the Eurozone today faces a major political test as Holland votes in elections. As the Eurozone economic crisis and budget cuts hit the Dutch hard, Eurosceptic parties on both sides of the spectrum are predicted to make historic gains. And finally, there's this headline in the Australian United States of Europe. Wake up and smell the Lake Como coffee. It's a comment piece that says Europe's financial and corporate elite are resting their hopes for preservation of the common currency on the far-fetched idea of a leap forward in the continent's sluggish march towards unification, estimating the odds and timetable for a European fiscal, economic and political union is a fool's errand. 15th April 1989 is a date etched on the minds of most football supporters in England, and today could be the day we find out the truth about what actually happened at the Hillsborough Stadium disaster that killed 96 football fans. Amanda Davis joins us again with more details. Amanda.
Hi, Monita. Yeah, we've had 23 years of searching for the truth, and the families of the 96 victims are currently looking through the evidence of a report that they have throughout the day. Monita.
Right. Amanda, thank you very much for that, and we'll be right back here on World One. Stay with us. Well, welcome back. We will soon learn what all the fuss is about with Apple's newest product unveiling. There's been a lot of speculation about the long-awaited iPhone 5, but it could also be something else. Either way, Apple CEO Tim Cook is set to take the stage today in California and finally end all the guesswork. Christy Lou Stout has more on the clues surrounding this unveiling. She joins us now live from CNN Hong Kong. And Christina, for someone who just bought her iPhone back in February, I'm not that happy, but you know what? What's the big deal this time?
Well, there's always a lot of tension for another product announcement from the world's most valuable company. It has been almost a year. September the 21st, and that's the latest from the Apple rumor mill. And all will be confirmed later today in just 3 hours or so in California. Monita.
Oh, I wait with bated breath there, Christy. Thank you very much for that. Christy Lou Stout there for us at CNN Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. World One continues after this break. Do stay with us right here on CNN.